Thank you so much for coming. Firstly, it's an honour. We are all so honoured to be premiering The Slave and the Sorcerer here at the Romford Horror International Film Festival. Thank you so much. Our film is produced by Hex Studios. We're based up in Scotland, and it's thanks to horror fans like you that are here today that we were able to make this film. And we would like to thank some of our friends at Hex. We've got Sergei Subotsky, who's in the audience today. Thank you so much for coming. We've also got Sultan Saeed Al-Damaki. We've got Peter Mahoney, who sadly couldn't be here today. And we have Charles Stifle. So thank you so much for coming. And over to Steve.
Hi guys. So The Slave and the Sorcerer is dedicated to Albert Pune, the director of the 80s classic The Sword and the Sorcerer, and the forgotten era of fantasy exploitation films such as Beastmaster and Deathstalker, etc. So sit back, relax, enjoy, grab a beer, and enjoy The Slave and the Sorcerer.
Okay, Sunday evening, Romford Horror Film Festival. I'm Peter from the festival team, and I'm here to talk about The Slave and the Sorcerer, which has just had a rapturous and very, very well attended screening. Got the filmmakers with me. Can you just introduce yourself, please, and your roles in the film? Thank you.
Well, I'm a director, producer, if you think I'm Roger Corman-esque type chap, and only recently sometimes doing obscene cameos in films.
And your name?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Lawrie Brewster.
Hi, I'm Megan Tremethick. I played Naman, and I was the makeup designer and made some costumes.
Hello, I'm Jonathan, and I played the cars.
Hi, I'm Stephen, and I played Rengray the Thief.
Fantastic. Laurie, can you, or should that be Romeo? What's that all about?
It's Romeo Franco, or is it Franco Romeo? Romeo Franco, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I basically thought, you know what, these are inspired a lot by films, to be fair, produced in Italy and South America as well, by Roger Corman, a lot of the cheaper, lower budget sword and sorcery films. Mm-hmm. And we just felt to get in the spirit of things and to have fun with it, that name could identify the type of film you might expect. Mm-hmm. So if we do, or when we do, more films like that are kind of retro and exploitation aspects of them, then there'll be Romeo Franco films. You'll know what to expect.
Be its own brand. Is that your aim?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, cool. How did this film come about? Where was your idea from, inspirations?
Well, I mean, the main inspiration... Originally, this was going to be a serious fantasy film that was produced, for another company. And then I changed it a little bit into something they weren't expecting, No, instead of a kind of vanilla Amazon type film, it became just a little different. Yeah. Obscene and filthy and violent, and inspired by all the things I absolutely adore, which include, you guys will know, it's The Sword and the Sorcerer, Albert Pune, that's dedicated to Deathstalker, Beastmaster, and all the Roger Corman films. Mm-hmm. And it's a love letter to those films. There's no wink or meta-irony about it. We just absolutely love those films. Yep. And we wanted to make something in the spirit of that and bring it back. You're allowed to have boobs, and exploding heads. It's okay.
Certainly got all of those. To the cast, are you fans of those similar kind of films, Megan? Do you want to start with?
Yes, yeah. I love Beastmaster. We watched Deathstalker recently, which was amazing.
I don't know why you pointed to me when you said Beastmaster.
Because you corrupted me and showed me that film.
Well, yes.
No, not like that. I am also a massive Flash Gordon fan, which I feel like is in a similar vein. Yeah, and so when I was designing some of the costumes and making some of the costumes, I used a lot of inspiration from Flash Gordon, especially for Akaris's look.
Yeah. Jonathan,
hello.
Are you still with us?
That's a moot point.
Are you a fan of these this one?
Yeah, I suppose, I mean, it was a big budget one, but Time Bandits was one of my great wonderful films. And I think it does fit into that genre, but it was made for about 12 million more. But no, David Warner's always been a very big inspiration. I love David Warner's work. I love it. It was crazy. I mean, when you see it for what I did, the little contribution that I made to it, but how it transformed into this extraordinary film is wonderful. Yeah, no, it's great.
I mean, the other good thing was Meg didn't have to make Jonathan's costume. He brought his bedclothes. They looked fantastic.
Yeah, that's right. I sewed up a few bed sheets. Yeah.
Stephen, you a fan of these films?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just reminded me of growing up. Watching those type of films, and when I think it was Sarah mentioned me about it and told me it was what it was going to be, I was kind of like, okay. I mean, I kind of expected a throwback type wink to those type of films. So, you know, when I got there, that was sort of our motivation. Lawrie kept reminding us that there is no agony, there is no wink. It is a Sorcerer film, and this is my first time seeing it, and it totally is a Sorcerer film.
Yeah,
Absolutely. There's no wink. It's not meta. It's just it is. So, Lawrie boy, well done.
Well, hey, look, credit, obviously, you guys I fucking hated the film, you know, you bastards, congratulate yourselves. No, come on, we're allowed a little bit. It's my colleague who can't be here today, Sarah Daly, as well, as like, she's the second half of the company. And, you know, I'd say she's probably the brains of the outfit, isn't she, guys? Yeah, very, very. And she was like, if we're going in that direction, she was like, just go full hog.
Yeah.
You know, as you can. Don't try and do. Yeah, I guess we'll stop saying winks all the time, but basically that kind of thing. Wink, wink.
Can I ask about the locations and maybe if there was any challenges that you encountered to do with the locations? That's to all of you. Do you want to just explain the location first, maybe, Lawrie, and then we'll go down the line?
Well, our team that makes films with Hex Studios up in Scotland, it's a bit like, you know, the end of Apocalypse Now with Kurtz and all his natives.
Yeah.
If you came to visit us, you'd be like on the little riverboat, yeah. So all those brave souls were building that set, and it was a big set. Lots of wooden stage flats, putting polystyrene sheets down. The guys were using heat guns to carve out the stonework and then painting them. And I mean, Meg, you were part of the carving team.
I sure was. My favourite part was using the heat gun on the polystyrene to craft the bricks. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. There was just like lots of like crying men and Meg trying to do the impossible.
Yeah, I didn't cry.
No, you didn't cry. I mean, it took them a while, you know, long enough that I'm like, Jesus, I'm gonna have to shoot 100 movies with that set before I die now. But no, it was great. So we did that, and we had little modular things where you could move things around to try and change some of the challenge rooms, you know, in the maze. And there was some blue screen stuff as well, which we were kind of going for that was a big empty space we filmed that in, and that was kind of done with, I guess, what we would describe as an early 90s tech level or late 80s chroma tech level we were trying to go for that. Meh.
What was your biggest challenge, Meg? Maybe on the acting, on the acting side.
What with the location?
No, on your acting side. Let's talk about your acting. What kind of challenges? Were there any challenges, or was there any real positives that you?
I absolutely loved it. I think the biggest challenge was to just constantly remind myself to just have fun and kind of embrace the kind of fun, campy B-movie aspect of the role. And once I did that, I just had so much fun.
Jonathan, what either a challenge or something you really particularly enjoyed about your participation?
I don't think I realised quite how much of my voiceover was in it, which was interesting. No, it's always good to play a villain, isn't it? It's always a bit of fun. I just found it. I found it. It was extraordinary how it turned out, because as far as I can remember, I was in a sandy, lots of sand on the floor, and some sort of green glowing lights. And that was about it, as far as I could see, you know. But what it's turned into is quite phenomenal. When I bear in mind, I was in this corridor, which was never ending. It seemed to be the same sort of bricks and the same walls and the sort of same thing. And suddenly it's this extraordinary film, which Lawrie is a bit of a genius like that. It's wonderful, yeah. I know, it's great.
95% Muppet, you know, and the 5%, which is the rest, is the team. Yeah. But thank you, John.
No problem.
Stephen? Either a challenge or something you particularly enjoyed or learnt, maybe, in the film?
I think just to be working in a set that was, it's a big set, but it's a small set in a lot of pieces as well. And I think just working with so many actors, you had the monsters, the old death and all that, kind of everything happening at once kind of thing in certain bits. And just, I think just working in that space, and as well as what Meg said about being, you know, campy and just being completely over the top at times, and having that, and being able, and having the that's what I'm looking for, being allowed to do that, you know, that was, you know.
There is a difference, I think, between the when you look at it a little bit, that it is slightly more over the top than say Time Bats would have been, because it's a different type of genre. Yeah. Although we think of it, if you think of it, it's not the same. There's a heightenedness to this kind of genre, you know, kind of playfulness. Nothing's quite real. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not real, so you're not going to get any, you know. There's no Ralph Richardson acting in this. There's no, you know, it is slightly more, you know, than it would be, than the norm. Is that a good way of putting it, Ron?
Yeah, it's funny. Like when I was working with the guys, it was kind of like the plan was. And I'll try and articulate this. A cult movie is something that often reaches for greatness, but doesn't really have the resources available, whatever it might be, financially, talent, whatever it is. But for their glorious attempt and their stumble, that can make something fun and interesting. And so with this film as well, I tried to set what I could describe as impossible tasks for everyone to try and create the circumstances in which that could happen. So the material would be unbelievably melodramatic at every turn. And with the resources we had, we would aim for this outrageous level of intensity all the time. And of course you could never reach it, but that was the point. Whereas I think trying to create that intentionally and let's describe it as very carefully stage managing something that is supposed to have a cult film quality. It doesn't come across as very sincere or authentic. And if you're in control of the elements, you won't get the chaos, which lends magic. And of course, inconsistency to a production, which of course, when you're looking to do it intentionally, you have to do by making it insane for your cast and crew.
Yeah, I think you're pulled off a great job, so congratulations on that. Final question, talk to me a little bit about Amicus, or talk to the audience about it, the revival, your project.
Well, I'm honoured and delighted to be working with the Subotsky family. Sergei himself is in attendance. He's the son of Milton Subotsky as well, the founder of Amicus Productions. And together with the team at Hex, we are looking to produce Amicus films, starting with a portmanteau film called In the Grip of Terror, which was the subject of a successful Kickstarter campaign last year. Folks can still pre-order that on BackerKit, same as with the Slave and the Sorcerer. And the idea is to do more than just make an Amicus special and then that's it, gone. It's like the dream, poof, gone, that's it, you know? We're looking to develop something with legs, with sustainability. A portmanteau film every year, and hopefully other additional films, especially those that might fill the void in terms of gothic horror, low budget gothic horror and historic gothic horror. If other recently revived companies choose not to attempt to go in that territory, then that's something we would look to do as well. Filled with passion, authenticity and earnestness, never with a sense of intellectual superiority, smugness, or a sense of cliquey cool. So one thing I can guarantee that Amicus, as we work together with the Subotsky family, she'll never embody those qualities, similar to Hex.
Beautifully put. Thank you so much for bringing the film to the festival. You've been here all weekend, you guys, so thank you so much. Yeah, you've really helped the bath coffers, I should say. No, on a serious note, great film. Everyone really enjoyed it. I know the audience enjoyed it as well. Give a round of applause, please, for all of our films.